Good morning, guys. How you doing? Somebody asked me the other day about I have a trick on killing skin cancer, and here's one of my little tools right here for killing skin cancer. Now you can get these online. These things here come out of Pakistan. This one did anyway. You can get these online. Venom therapy tweezers. Alright, what you want to do is get yourself a kitty litter pan. Go out to your beehive. Shake them into that kitty litter pan, a frame. Don't shake your queen in there. And then take it up, bump it on the corner, and put some paper towel. This is my moringa jar, or moringa pills. Put some paper towel down there for cushy, a little cushion down there. And shake you, I don't know, 100 bees or so in there. It doesn't take many bees, because your reason you want a lot of bees is because you're going to lose some, you're going to crush some. Now, I have not done it yet, but they say you can take a hammer and lay this on a, if you're pinching and smashing your bees, crushing them, you want them alive. This one's kind of tight. And they claim you can lay this on an anvil or something hard, hit it with a hammer right here, and then test it. And it'll loosen up that tension. That's what I hear. I have not tried that yet. But yes, bee venom kills skin cancer. And I know this by experience. Oh, by the way, I'm not a doctor, just a backwoods beekeeper. But I know this works because I've tried it on myself numerous times. The reason I'm getting skin cancer was the crap American diet, the standard American diet that should stand for shitty American diet. That is what's causing all the carnage in this country with diabetes and cancer and the whole laundry list of diseases. Go ketogenic diet and you start cleaning your body up. And all these problems will reverse unless you've gone too far. If you've gone too far, then you're probably going to check out with a disease like cancer and diabetes and the rest. Now, I had a story time here. I had a I've had them all over. I've had them on my ear. About a year ago, I had a big one coming right here on my ear, right on the edge, growing like crazy. I've had one on the inside of my ear that grew started out about that size, and within a week it got this big. It was growing big time in there. And I looked at that and I saw the edges. I knew exactly what it was. I took it out with bee venom. I also had a spot here. This is way before. This wound here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little half moon thing. This thing also started out as a very small tumor right here. Cancerous tumor, and it started growing, and that dude grew to this big. And I showed that to Miss Daisy, and she said, that does not look good. I said, I don't like it. I said, it's typical cancer. It's got the ragged edges and everything else. So I go to a dermatologist. She said, I know a dermatologist. I said, okay. They're on our insurance plan. I go in, and this cute little young girl, she looked at it, and as soon as she looked at it, her eyeballs went like this. So without even testing it, biopsy, nothing, I knew exactly what I had, cancer. She said, we got to get you to, without her doing anything, she said, we got to get you to a surgeon. So anyway, she set me up with a surgeon. And the surgeon was 3 months out. That's how backed up these people are. I said, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, well we're backed up. We got this sort of stuff going on. Really? Okay. So I go home and I'm thinking this thing went from here to here in a matter of 2 weeks. And I'm going, no. This thing, if I wait 3 months, this thing is not only going to be about this big around, but it's going to be into my bone by then. And I could actually feel it growing like legs on it, going into the meat. So I came home and I said, well, you know, bee venom is pretty powerful stuff. I've never heard of anyone doing this. I've heard a lot of people using bee venom therapy for arthritis and this and that. But you can clean up that arthritic problem and joint problem and aches and pains with a ketogenic diet. Or going totally carnivore, which I basically pretty much have done. I still eat some veggies, but I'm pretty much, I can't tell you how great I feel. Lost weight, lost over 20 pounds. I've got another 10 to go, and it's right around the midsection. At 70 years old, you're going to have it. But if you go to ketogenic diet, your hormonal situation starts getting squared away. I want to do another video on hormones that I've done, hormone testosterone replacement therapy, utilizing Trimix. Very good trick. Now, I don't like using pharmaceuticals at all, but in some situations, it's good, especially if it's bioidentical. Anyway, back to my hand story. I go to my beehive, I get some bees, and what you want to do is grab them by the thorax to where their butt's hanging out, and they're wiggling, and the stinger's coming out. And I went right around that thing. Now this is painful. I'm not going to lie to you. This is painful. If anybody got bee sting, you know how it feels. But here's the big Bertha but on this. About the second sting, your endorphins start kicking in. And the pain subsides where it's, you know, tolerable. You want to scream about, you know, when you put your first few in. But the endorphins start kicking, and you can put 100 stings in there. Now this hand, I put about 10 stings in that thing. I went clear around the perimeter, and then I put 2 on the inside. And there it was. I left them pump for a half hour. Well, they pump out within a minute. 5 minutes. The pump on them will quit pumping in short order. But I left them in for a half hour. I came back with a fingernail and just scraped out the stingers. Thought I got them all. So I go back. I wait this whole period. By the time I told Miss Daisy, my time's coming up to go into the surgeon. I said, I don't even know I'm going to see this guy. This thing's dead as a donut. I can tell you that right now, because the edges were starting to get relieved and they were starting to lift up. There was healing going on. That bee venom, it goes in there, it does it fast too. This happens fast. And so I go in and they look at it, surgeon comes in, all smiley. Young fella. He says, okay, I'm going to numb that up. Okay, go ahead, doc. So he numbs it up with his little needle, gets my hand numb. Then he gets out this little hook scalpel gimmick. It comes in there and he just fillets out a plug all around that thing, this big. Right down to the bottom, right down. A little further, we could have been looking at bones here. He said, I'll be right back. I may have to come back and get a little bit more of those margins if I don't get it all. He knew exactly what I had on my hand. It was cancer. Comes back. This guy comes back. True story, guys. He comes back with the most bewildered look on his face. And he says, sir, I can't find any cancer cells. I said, oh, really? Yeah. I said, well, what's up with that, doc? I don't know. I've never seen anything like this. But what was really bizarre, he says, it looked like there was a splinter. Well, I had missed one of those, because it was an ugly, scabby looking thing. I missed one of those stingers in there and didn't get it out. Well, it penetrated clear through that scab. And there was, he said it was like a splinter or something in there, or a thorn. I wanted to say to this guy, listen, jackass, you don't know the difference between a thorn and a bee stinger? But I didn't. I played totally stupid. I didn't say a thing. He said, he's looking at, and his nurse is sitting there. She's just bewildered too. You know. So it was kind of comical. But I knew I was onto something with this whole deal at that point. He said, "You want stitches or anything in that?" I said, "No, leave it ugly." I said, "How long is that going to stay ugly?" He said, I forget, he gave me some kind of goofy cream to put on it to help shrink it down. But that's it. It completely shrunk down, and it's got a little smiley face right there. So from then on, I knew it would work. And I had another one pop up here, a little black dot. I thought it was just a mole. I had it for years, but then it started hurting, and it started like, I could push on it, it was growing legs. I said, "Oh, that ain't good. That ain't good." Same deal. Now, when you go in to get your bees, you can do this in your bathroom, by the way. Shut the door, turn on the light, because they're going to go to, if any fly out of here, it's going to go to the light. Well, what'll happen, you think they're going to blow up and fly out of here, but they don't. They come right up here on this edge, and they're looking out at you. Then you reach in here, and whoever the little guy is here close, you grab them right by the thorax, pull them out, and then just set your lid on like that and set it aside. Then you can go do your operation. And you know, you just do as many, just play it by ear. Now, speaking of playing it by ear, I had one right here, twice, one on the inside and one here. I loaded that dude up right there. I stuck it right in there. Its thing was this long and this wide and growing fast. And that comes from eating junk food stuff. And every once in a great while, I'll be naughty and do that kind of stuff. And it doesn't take long for me. Cancer pretty much runs in the family, and it can take you out fast. I've had family members, parents, family members, and all. There's a lot of friends taken out with cancer. You have to watch what you're doing, eat the proper diet, or you will check out with either diabetes, cancer, or some other awful disease. But I just thought I'd quickly make this video and show you what I'm doing. This works. Don't let anybody tell you it doesn't work. If they laugh, just go ahead and let them laugh. I'm telling you right now, this works. And they should research it. But they know if they brought this to light, everybody would be doing their own thing like old Steve-O does. Isn't that amazing? And they will be out of business. Now, internal cancers, oh yeah, they're going to get you if you're on the wrong diet. But once you go ketogenic or an all-carnivore diet, let's look back up for a second and look at some nomadic people. You want to see a cool video and some tough individuals? Pull up Eskimos fishing at the weir. These Eskimos in the far north, back in the day, I don't know if they still do it or not, made a weir. The salmon would come in, they'd make a rock weir. These guys would strip down to just their parkas and crawl in this water with special spears that they made, and they made them with deer antlers, caribou antlers, and they came around with a pole in the center. They had a center spike. Envision a center spike coming in here, and then these antlers coming around, and then they drilled and put in backward spikes made with probably more bone. These people are ingenious. They would go in there and they would slam them. This one dude, he had a stringer of big salmon like this, at least 10 feet long. You'll see it. Go out there and look at that. Eskimos fishing at the weir. He's got a piece of caribou hide, fish stringer he made out of caribou hide with a bone. And he puts that stringer and bone in his mouth, and he's spearing. There he pulls one out. He'll pull that out, shove that thing through, and put it on a stringer. He's back in there just hammering on it. He's dragging out. Before they get really chilled, these are the people that are on a totally carnivore, pretty much carnivore diet until spring, and they'll know only time in the spring they'll eat something sweet. Back in them days was go to the tundra and get blueberries and different kind of berries on the tundra. That's the only time. The rest of the time of year they are on pretty much carnivore diet, slamming seals, whales, and whatnot, caribou, and this and that. This was back in the late 40s, early 50s this movie was made. You look at those people back then, how hardy those people and tough those people were. That's the diet they were on, like all my ancient ancestors were on. But today, look at the Eskimos today. Look at the mess these poor people are into because they've adopted the standard American diet. Thanks to all of our great wisdom, these people are sick, they're dying, they've got diabetes, cancer, and the whole bit. Thank you very much, Modern Medical Association. All right, guys, that's it. That's enough preaching for one day. Thought I'd show you this little tool and try it. It is painful, but what would they have done with me? They did it with my grandfather. They cut the whole top of his ears off. And you see people walking around with skin issues. They've been to this wonderful dermatologist. They are just chopping big plugs of meat out of you. I seen a guy the other day, he had a great big circle taken out right in the inside of his ear. Looked goofy as hell. That's the sort of stuff they're going to do to you. So that's it for today, guys. Be happy, be well, and be strong, because we got to keep carrying on. I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.